Okay, module number 1. What is permaculture? Permaculture can be defined as permanent agriculture and permanent culture. Permanent agriculture is agriculture and animal management which improves the quality of land, provides income and produce, and is sustainable now and in the future. Permanent culture means conserving, supporting, and working together with the local culture while at the same time moving forward, working with nature and people as well as learning from them and not working against or in competition with them. Permaculture helps us to understand and to create harmonic integrations between nature and people in the most sustainable way. Permaculture is appropriate for use in urban or rural locations, as well as for all scales of projects. Permaculture introduces traditional practices of nature management integrated with appropriate modern technology. This is a holistic, kind, and environment-friendly way for designing and building our natural living environment, as well as improving living standards, including housing, water supply, health, waste management, farming, energy, aquaculture, rivers, forests, livestock, and much more. The term permaculture was coined by Bill Mollison and David Holmgren in the 1970s and now is in practice in over 100 countries by thousands of permaculture design graduates. At this time, there are many problems in the world, such as damaged natural environments, depleted and damaged farmland, polluted rivers, lakes, land, air, and oceans. People, animals, and plants are also becoming polluted, and many species are becoming extinct. Most of the world's population consists of very poor people. Only a small percentage are very wealthy. People have created all of these problems, and it is people who must change their ways for the earth to become healthy again. Action and change must come from all levels of society, including governments, businesses, workers, farmers, community groups, families, men, women, children, everyone. Future generations depend on this. Permaculture offers techniques and ideas which help in directing us toward a healthier environment, cultures, and people. This is based on certain ethics and principles. Permaculture ethics and principles provide a guide to being more responsible for our own lives, environment, and future, as well as helping us to prepare a safe future for our families, culture, and natural environment. Ethics of permaculture. The ethics of permaculture are care for the land, care for the people, care for the future. These ethics are explained as follows. 1. Care for the land. Caring for the land means caring for our natural resources. Any action that damages, pollutes, or destroys the environment or nature of Indonesia is also a loss for the people of Indonesia. Our natural environment must be protected and improved. This natural environment plays a key role in future of Indonesia. Natural resources include air, flora, forests and plants, fauna, animals, birds, etc., water, lakes, rivers, springs, etc., sea, beaches, coral reefs, marine life, etc., land, farmland including forests and land for animal grazing, So air, flora, fauna, water, sea, land. If our land is managed in a sustainable way and slowly improved, productivity, Indonesia's wealth, will also improve. This is true for any country. This will provide long-term productivity for farmers and their children, protection and health for surrounding environments and those who farm the land. 2. Care for the people. Caring for the people means preparing a healthy and safe future for everyone. Permaculture is about improving our communities, living environment, food supply, health, and well-being. Sharing knowledge and assets will help us to improve production, variety, and quality of produce, as well food preservation and storage. Improve health and nutrition, including encouraging the use of effective natural medicines. Improve house health and hygiene, especially kitchens, air quality, toilets, and waste management. Develop equal rights and opportunities for every individual, men, women, and children. Improve livelihoods and work opportunities. Reduce daily hard work, such as carrying water, firewood, etc. Educate future generations in tradition, beliefs, and knowledge, and in combining modern techniques with traditional culture. 3. Care for the future. What we do now affects the future. Caring for the future means always considering and planning for the future, not just 10 years, but 20, 50, 100 years in the future. For our grandchildren and their children are dependent on us to provide the best possible place for them to live. These ethics should be implemented by all levels of society, from governments and community groups to families and individuals. This can be implemented in ways such as protecting, distributing, and marketing available resources, cooperation, not competition, supporting local economies by using local resources whenever possible, protecting the natural environment by using renewable resources, reducing waste by reusing and recycling, using less unsustainable materials, using renewable energy sources such as solar power, hydroelectricity, biogas, and wind power, managing population growth. Principles of permaculture. The principles of permaculture should be implemented in every sustainable community design. These principles are an important guide for implementing permaculture techniques. These principles also help to maximize efficiency and production in the most sustainable way, protect the soil, land, environment, and people. Permaculture principles encourage creativity and maximize results. Every place is different. Every situation and every family is also different. Therefore, plans, techniques, plants, animals, and building materials will be different each time. However, for every place and every activity, the same principles apply. Diversity aims to integrate a variety of beneficial species of food, plants, and animals into design. This builds a stable, interactive, polycultural system which provides for human needs and also for the needs of other species. Edge effect. In general, there is more energy and more diversity of life on the edge where two types of natural systems overlap. On these borders, one can access the resources of both sides. Using the edge effect and other natural patterns that you observe creates the best effect. Energy planning, placing the elements of your design in such a way as to minimize the use of energy, including fossil fuels and human labor, utilizing the energy and resources that you have, first on-site and then from outside the system. As effectively as possible, on-site energy resources include natural forces such as gravity, wind power, water power. This saves time, energy, and money. So that's diversity, edge effect, energy planning. Energy cycling. In a natural system, there is no waste or pollution. The output from one natural process becomes the resource for another. Recycle and reuse all of resources as many times as possible. Scale. Creating human-scale systems. Choose simple, appropriate technologies for use in designs. Only create systems that are manageable. Start small and take achievable steps towards an ideal goal. Biological resources. Using natural methods and processes to achieve tasks. Find things in nature, like plants, animals, or microbes, that are supportive of the system design and minimize outside energy input. Multiple elements. Support each vital need and essential function in more than one way, so that a temporary failure in one element will not stop the functioning of others. Also, recognize that there is almost always more than one way to achieve any task. Multiple functions. Most things can be used in a variety of ways and for a variety of functions. One rule of thumb in permaculture is to try to design 3 uses for every element of the system. This can save space, time, and complication in any particular project. 3 uses for every element of the system. Natural succession. Work with nature and the processes of natural systems. Anticipate future developments through research and observation when necessary. Relative location. Place every element of your design in relationship to others so that they benefit from each other. For example, store tools near where they will be used. Personal responsibility. Our actions affect our own lives, the lives of our family and friends, and the lives of anyone else who is in direct or indirect contact with us. Any constructive, sustainable actions that we do will create benefits for many. The same is true of destructive actions. Their effects will be felt far and wide. Cooperation, not competition. Cooperation between people promotes community involvement, trading between members of the community, shared and improved knowledge and skills. Through cooperation, many benefits can be achieved. Cooperation is important on all levels, in the family, in the village, in the districts, and as a whole nation. Competition, on the other hand, creates conflict, jealousy, and anger within communities, especially if a resource is scarce. A good example is water use. Usually the end result is that a few people have a lot, while the rest receive only a little. See solutions, not problems. Every problem that we are faced with has a solution. Often the problem can contain within itself a solution. For example, turning weeds into compost and mulch, and using manure as a valuable resource for increasing soil fertility. Observation. Natural patterns and cycles help us understand and make better plans for our farms, houses, and gardens. Observation helps us to understand things, like what works and what doesn't. By conducting simple experiments, we can observe which are the best plants to grow and what is the best technique for growing them. Beauty. Highly productive land can also be very beautiful. This is also true for houses. Indonesia has a very beautiful environment, and beautiful gardens and houses will add to it. Gardens and fish ponds can be made in beautiful shapes. Flowers can be grown next to and among vegetables. Small trees and legumes can be grown with fruit trees. This will encourage increased productivity and diversity.